Hi, thank you for having me. I'm Asya-Nina Varshavsky-Yanovsky, and I am an assistant professor and myeloma program lead at Fox Chase Cancer Center. So I'm very excited about the results presented at ASH on efficacy and safety of Elranatamab in a subgroup of Black and African American patients. Just a couple of words about Elranatamab. It's a bispecific T-cell engager, which means that it's an antibody that has two arms. One arm is recognizing BCMA, which is a marker on the myeloma cells, and another arm is recognizing CD3 on the cytotoxic T lymphocytes. So what it does is bringing a lymphocyte very close to the myeloma cell, and this way it facilitates killing of myeloma cells by patient's own lymphocytes. It's a very effective drug that was recently approved by FDA for patients with multiple myeloma who have relapsed and had at least 4 prior lines of therapy. So those are patients who had seen a lot of treatments and are very refractory. And here we are focusing on the subgroup of African American patients. And this is very important to me because, first of all, myeloma affects disproportionately Black and African American patients, approximately twofold compared to the incidence in white patients. Not only that, but also, unfortunately, historically, Black patients have been underrepresented in the clinical trials, leading to approval of the novel therapies for myeloma. And there are many reasons for this underrepresentation. And the reasons, the barriers can be overcome. And I'm happy we were able to enroll 40% African American patients on the registrational study for Elranatamab at Fox Chase, and we have a very good cohort of African American patients on the magnetism program trials. And so we can actually evaluate the data and make objective conclusions about how this novel drug works in Black patients. And what we found is, first of all, efficacy is very good, very promising. Overall response rate was close to 60%, 58%. In Black patients, and that compares to 61% in overall patient population on the trials, on the registration trial. And the complete response rate was close to 40%, which is actually even a little bit better when we compare to overall population on the registration trial. And that is extremely encouraging because those patients, specifically the 24 African American patients that we reviewed, they had 6 prior lines of therapy, which means they were very, very heavily pretreated, and they were already refractory to multiple medications, even some of them to BCMA, to other BCMA-directed therapies. And they still had this amazing response rate of close to 60%, and not less importantly, very durable responses lasting 18 months. And that's keeping in mind 50% of those patients were what we call penta-refractory, which means that they already are refractory to the 5 main backbone drugs that we are using in multiple myeloma. And in this population of penta-refractory patients, prior to the era of all these novel T-cell redirecting therapies, like Elranatamab and others, or CAR-T, prior to these therapies, those patients lived close to 6 months. And now we are seeing 18 months duration of response in patients on novel therapy. So response rates are similar, nearly identical to the general population. Now, what about safety? Safety was also identical pretty much to the safety, to the toxicities that we are seeing in the overall trial population. And the main toxicities for all patients treated with Elranatamab and other T-cell redirecting therapies are cytokine release syndrome, that is mostly low grade in general population and in Black patients, and it is manageable. We have very clear protocols. Neutropenia, in general, low blood counts. Again, it's a class effect, and it's manageable. We have growth factors. We have infectious prophylaxis. We have very good guidelines and practices how to support patients who are treated on these therapies to allow this durable response without really experiencing too much toxicities. So in conclusion, really what I think we all should take home from our results is that the drug, this novel therapy is effective in Black patients, and we really should provide all eligible patients access to Elranatamab and other novel therapies because those therapies prolong life. And also we should continue conducting clinical trials of novel therapies and continue enrolling minority populations on the trial so we can get more objective data.